was living in this super cozy one-bedroom house with my bestie. It was all we could afford, but hey, we made it work. I had claimed the living room as my bedroom, crashing on the futon, while my friend snagged the actual bedroom. This all went down during a chilly fall season. My buddy had to zip off to visit his sister for a few days, leaving me solo at our place. And guess what? It was the weekend. I was looking forward to stretching out and enjoying the extra space. Don't get me wrong, I loved having my friend around, but a little breathing room in our tiny pad was a sweet change. So, there I was on Sunday night, back from a quick grocery run, and it was around 7 p.m. I had work the next day, but I thought, why not live a little? And decided to watch a movie. I'm there, sunk into the couch. The movie's almost done when I hear this soft thump from the hallway. I shoot a glance over, but there's nothing there. It's just the house being weird, I think, and get back to my movie. For the next half hour, all's quiet on the Western Front. That thump completely slipped my mind. The movie ends. I grab a water refill and hit the futon, turning it into my makeshift bed. I'm scrolling through my phone, but eventually I drift off, around 11-ish. Suddenly, I woke up. My eyes are all groggy, and I'm wondering why the heck I'm awake. It's still the dead of night. I'm rubbing my eyes when I hear this super faint creaking sound, like someone's tiptoeing on our old floorboards. I'm wide awake in a flash, heart pounding. I get up and tiptoe over to the hallway. Silence, but man, the vibes are creepy. I creep down the hall, get to my friend's bedroom door, and press my ear against it. Nothing. The room's a mess, stuff everywhere. Confused, I step in and flick the light on. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot a figure darting from the closet door gap. I freak out, slam the door, and bolt to grab my phone. I hear the closet door and footsteps in the hallway. Phone in hand, I dash to the back door, and there he is, this big dude coming right at me down the hallway. I book it out the back, sprint through the yard, and he doesn't chase. I find a safe spot a minute later and call the cops. They search the place, but find zip about who this guy was or why he was there. They think he broke in while I was grocery shopping that night. My friend freaked out when I told him. We decided to bail on the house, hoping to never bump into Mr. Creepy Closet Guy again. So, I was in my early 20s when I snagged my first house. Living alone? Totally my jam. I went for a country vibe, ditching my city apartment for some peace. The neighborhood was chill, with a few folks living nearby, but we all did our own thing. My place, a cozy ranch-style home, just one floor over a basement. The master bedroom had this killer view my backyard, and then just endless woods. Now, the basement had this quirky setup, think 2 big steel balcony doors that swing open, leading down steps to the actual basement door. I'm not big on locking those steel doors in the summer. Gotta have quick backyard access to the basement, right? But come winter, and sometimes fall, I'd lock 'em up tight. The first couple of years, absolute bliss. I'd wander into the woods to hunt, or just leave my garage door open from dawn till dusk. No worries about uninvited guests. Work was a grind, though these 12-hour day/night shifts threw my sleep all out of whack. Flipping from nights to days was rough, sleeping too much or too little. But hey, at least I could plan my days off. Then, one December night, right after wrapping up 3 night shifts, I'm trying to reset my sleep for day shifts. It's tricky, trying to doze off when your body's all confused. So I hit the hay around 11 p.m., just as the snow started piling up outside. By 3 a.m., I'm awake in this eerie silence. I'm lying there, hoping to drift back off, when suddenly, bam! This crazy loud banging right outside my bedroom window. My heart's racing, and I realize someone's messing with my locked basement doors. I bolt down the hallway to the back of the house, where I've got the sliding glass door and the floodlight switches. I flick on the lights and peer out the glass door towards the basement. No one's there. But then I see it fresh footprints in the snow, leading from the woods right up to my basement doors. And get this, no snow on the handles, like someone was trying hard to pry them open. These footprints were a dead giveaway that someone had just tried to get into my basement. And then I spotted another set of tracks. These looked like the person was booking it out of there as fast as they could. You know, like in cartoons where there's a dust cloud behind them. That's what it looked like. I couldn't sleep after that and stayed up till almost sunrise, keeping those floodlights blazing out back. When the sun finally came up, I figured I'd play detective and follow those tracks into the woods. But no luck. The fresh snow and the wind did their thing, covering the tracks just a few feet in. My guess? The intruder probably heard me thundering down the hallway and bolted into the woods before I could even reach the back door and flip on the lights. I thought about calling the cops, but there wasn't any damage or anything missing. Still, that was a real wake-up call. From that point on, I kept every door locked tight and stopped leaving my garage wide open all day unless I was right there working. Fast forward 8 years, and I ended up selling the house. Nothing creepy happened again after that night, but it's one of those stories that sticks with you, you know. When I was 16, I was living in this pretty standard suburban house with my folks. They were these globetrotters, always jetting off for work or vacations. During school time, I'd often be the man of the house, looking after things for a few days, even up to a week. Honestly, it was pretty cool. I had the place to myself and could chill. This one time, they were gone for 6 days, and I was living the bachelor life, grabbing takeout every night. On the second night, I got lost in a gaming marathon on my computer. Before I knew it, it was past 8 p.m. on a Friday, and my stomach was reminding me I hadn't eaten. So, I hit pause and drove to this sandwich place nearby. It was almost closing time, and the place was almost empty, except for this one guy at the counter. He looked like he was just waiting for his order. I ordered my stuff and stood behind him, but I couldn't help noticing the guy. He was tall, skinny, kind of rough around the edges, with this long, thin hair. He grabbed his food and left, and I remember watching him go, thinking how out of place he seemed. A few minutes later, I got my sandwich, headed back to my car, and drove home. The streets were quiet, so I was back in no time. Back in my room, I was settling in with a video and my dinner. It was around 9 p.m., and I was planning to stay up way later. But then, I heard this weird noise downstairs. It was super faint. I paused the video, listening hard, but nothing. I tiptoed into the hallway, all ears, but still nada. Thinking it was probably nothing, but still a bit spooked, I decided to check it out. I went downstairs and looked around. Everything seemed normal. But then, as I passed the front door, it hit me. That sound. I shook the door handle. Yep, the same noise. Someone had been checking if it was locked. Heart racing, I peeked through the peephole. Nothing. I dashed to the back door, scanning the yard, and there, by the shed, was this figure, back turned to the house. Tall and skinny. It took me a few seconds, but I was almost sure it was the same guy from the sandwich shop. But then, in a flash, he busts into the shed. My brain's screaming, "Call the cops." So, I bolt upstairs, dialing 911 and keeping an eye on the shed from my window. The 911 operator is like, "Cops are on their way." But before I even catch my breath, the guy charges out of the shed, arms full of my parents' tools. He's making a beeline for the back door, and I'm thinking, what now? I dash into the hallway, maybe to block him, maybe to make a run for it, I don't know. Then bam! This loud metal crash against the back door. My heart's pounding like crazy. I decide right then, I've got to get out. I sprint downstairs and fly out the front door just as I see him whacking away at the back door. I'm out in the street, running like my life depends on it, all the way to the end of the block. After what feels like forever, 2 police cars zoom into my driveway and rush inside. I head back, and there they are, dragging the guy out, slapping cuffs on him. He's still got the pipe wrench from our shed. The cops let me in, and man, the place is trashed. This guy went to town on everything in sight. Why did he follow me and do all this? Who knows? He didn't look all there, mentally, but I keep thinking, if I hadn't run, if I'd stayed inside, he would have gotten to me way before the cops arrived. And who knows what could have happened then.